Yeah, they might be. That's been sort of another part of my world for quite a while now with some of the local industry stuff and some of my ASTM world and all. And man, it's been like, a constant focus. But yeah, definitely going into winter, it's going to be real interesting this year to see how things stack up versus last year. Now that it's almost 100% across the board implementation of new powders and binders and things and new ones coming out. That to me is one of the most exciting things going in the industry. It seems like there's more binder changes, kind of to the tune of what there used to be for admix changes. Not that there's not admix changes going along with it, because they're doing a great job of innovating and adapting as well. But I think sort of that shock and awe of the changeover that took place in the cement side of the world is starting to kind of settle in as well. And now we're starting to get a picture of what that's going to be like in the future. And so I think that's going to be probably one of the most exciting things about next year. I think, we talked about it before. I think that's one of the biggest innovative things coming. And if you're not really paying attention to how to evaluate and test your binders as a ready-mix producer, you gotta get there. Well, this little lull in business, if you're seeing it, is the time to kind of build up, like old Swan Zoo, prepare for war in times of peace. Well, it's peaceful now, so get ready, because come next year, I think there's going to be so many different binder changes and new binders coming out. Producers are going to have probably as many options to test on binders as they are on admixtures, which I can't remember that ever happening in my career.
No, that is crazy. The academic side of things for a long time was focused on the calcined clay. Seems like that might be moving toward some sort of industry adoption over the next couple of years. Certainly, the more aggressive folks are already planning to have it in some projects right now, but it's like it could be widespread adoption for some people. At least that's what I'm hearing rumblings of. If a product can come to market with the right specs and be available, that's another key. It's funny. So we're in the clay business. Joey and I, our parent company's in the clay business, and one
Yeah.
of the things that's interesting is that the size of a customer for a clay producer is, X number of thousands of tons is like a big customer. But
Mm-hmm.
then you move into the cement business and you're like, oh, we're going to replace 10% of cement or 20, LC3, 30% of cement is going to get replaced. A giant chunk of that's going to be calcined clay. You're talking millions of tons are going to be necessary. And the clay plants aren't built on that type of scale. There's
Yeah.
not a lot that can handle, not a lot of plants out there that can handle that type of volume. You need another plant. I mean, it's massive, massive volume. So even if the concrete industry and cement world is pulling this, there's going to have to be a form of catch up. And what a lot of folks may not understand is a little bit of inside baseball for you here is you need to own the land. And I'm talking about the reserve so you can actually access that clay. So it's when you company like ours that has the access to the clay itself, like there's only so much of. I mean, there's a lot of it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
we've found most of it, so we know
Yeah.
where it's at, and you got the rights to it. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to dig into that clay, you got to find the guy that's got the rights to it, not just the people. And